Grab the other crate there a minute. Grab the other crate there a minute.
Alright.
So
Put the bath as well. Do you think firm or no?
sorry?
Put the bath out firm or no?
You can do, yeah. Turn it off when it's running now. explain what's going on today. Okay? Right, let's get these comments up. How do we get the comments? Here we go. Watching from the Philippines, Bullabog. Welcome to the channel, mate. Sharon, good morning, Sharon. Platinum Loss, I hear you had a good race, mate. 100% home. I am 100% home. You are correct there. Not that people know why at the minute, but did you put my £10 on 4342, John? I seen your message last night, but it was a very, very hectic night last night. Alan, I'll explain there in a second. They home already? Well, sleepwalk, yes they are, but there's a reason why they're home already. Bonjour from France. Bonjour, Joel. What a way to start the live stream with noise of an industrial hoover. Yep. They're the late breads, so they're Ali's late breads, so they've started it. I mean, they haven't been weaned off very long, but they've gone straight into the molt, which is expected. Just messing, Mrs. A. Thank you, Tom, but sound the alarm. Right, let's where are you going, Dad? All right. So anyway, yesterday, Birds Up got race marked as normal. Everything went smooth. We was nice and early. Transporter left us nice and early. He had plenty of time yesterday. Over an hour earlier than what he needed to leave, he left. So no problems there. Be careful you don't get taken to the region for slander, mate. Hey, there ain't no slander, it's just truths. So I'm not, this video won't be to run anybody down. This video is just to explain what has happened and why my birds are home in the loft already. I will take you down there and show you the birds there a second. Stay there, you. Stay there. So, all right, babies. So here we have the birds. So all the birds are home and in together as normal that they would get on a race day. So they were race marked, taken away last night, and they're all back home in the loft now. So the reason for that is our vehicle broke down last night. These things can happen. The fuel pump went on it, and yeah, these things can happen. Broke down in quite a dangerous place, so the police were called, and it comes to find out that our vehicle doesn't hold insurance, and the reason being is there is a letter wrong. This is what I'm being told. I don't know this for facts, but this is what I'm being told by the officials of the combine. There was a letter wrong on the insurance document. So the vehicle got impounded with all the birds, and the driver was, I don't know what's happened to the driver, to be honest with you. I presume he was just left to go home. Details taken and left to go home. Because at the end of the day, it is his responsibility to prove that he has got insurance to drive that vehicle because he's in charge of that vehicle. So I'm sure he's got a fine coming to him, which I'm sure the combine will pay, because it's a shortfall on their part rather than his part. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with him because he was in charge of the vehicle. He will get the fine in his name, if that's what happens. So there was a letter wrong on the insurance policy. How that happened, thank you, Dad, for the sound effects. And you bloody twit. Hey, this is what I got to deal with. I've had to deal with this all my life. Hey, look at him. Hey, you'll fall over in a minute laughing. But anyway, so long story short, our vehicle was impounded. The officials of the combine had to prove who they were, went up, picked our birds up. I had a phone call about midnight last night, although I knew before that the vehicle had broken down because he didn't manage to get to the last pickup point. But yeah, I had a phone call midnight last night to say that the vehicle had been impounded and our birds will be coming back. Anyway, I ended up... Sorry? I met the secretary of our Fed with the birds. Everything was good. I brought the birds home. I put the light on in the van. I put water on them, and a few of them went and had a drink because they haven't been had a drink for 12 hours. And I got home at 4 o'clock this morning with the birds. So that's the story, the reason why we haven't got a race today. Do apologise to everybody. And Alan, I'll have a word with you about your £10 nom.
He lost that.
He lost it. Dad said you've lost it, Alan, and all money goes to senior management. So Dad's the winner. He's won. And senior management has got the final say.
Yeah.
So you can't take us back to the region or anything like that. That is the final say, and you've lost your money, Alan. No, we'll put it on next week. We'll sort that out anyway.
Now the senior management will have to have a couple of whiskies to settle his nerves over this.
Yeah. Well, the meeting is tomorrow night, not tonight. Peter Burt, hi John. Hi Peter. Oh no, that's messed up. From Big. Yeah, it is messed up, but it is what it is. 100% returns because they got let go right there in my driveway. Mine did. So what other messages we've got? Probably get points as well. Yeah, he could well do, although yeah, I don't know.
He would.
I don't know.
Which is a shame, really. Cause
Joel, I haven't got my translator here. Big put, haha, go on long pockets. Yeah, he's the winner in all this. Yeah. He would fall in, yeah, keep it PC. He would fall in a pile of manure and come out smelling of roses. They call him Lucky Mick. I call him lots of other things. Joe from Lily's Loft, North California, wishing you all the best. Good luck if you're racing today, mate. California, they are ahead or behind us, Dad?
Ahead.
They're
no,
ahead.
they're behind.
They're behind us, are they?
Yeah, it's early morning over there, isn't it?
It must be, yeah. Yeah, well, good luck if you're racing today, Joe. Alan Long, I have not late post. You've not sent it in the late post. Well, that's all right, Alan. I can send it back to you, mate. You haven't got to send the money. Can't help trouble. The birds are back safely. That's the main thing. 100%, Tom. Yeah, they had a rigmarole, and I could have took them training this morning, but they went through quite a bit of stress with flashing lights. Just imagine it. There was copper behind, probably a copper in front as well. Blue flashing lights on because it was in a hazardous area. Yeah, I didn't want to take my pigeons training today because their stress levels would have gone through the roof. I just let them out of here, had the traps open, a bit of corn in there, a bit of light corn because they haven't had any food. And they flew for 8 or 10 minutes, and then one went down in and the rest piled in. So at least they had a bit of stretch their wings. Whose problem that? At least the birds are safe. Feel sorry for the driver, not his fault. No, you're right there, Brian. It's not his fault, but the buck stops with him because he's the driver.
It's a shame. That's a shame.
But I'm sure the combine will do the right thing. You mean I'll be championing it anyway, that the combine pays any of his out-of-pocket expenses. And it might not stop there, because if he gets points on his license, that could affect his insurance for years to come, and it's got a knock-on effect because his employer will have to declare it as well. So, he can't be out of pocket. He can't be out of pocket. But anyway, that'll be in the months to come to see how that goes. John, so with the transporter impounded, do you have to go where the transporter was and get your pigeons? No, because they're in the property of the Cornish Combine. The Cornish Combine are responsible for them. And also, seeing it's impounded as well, you can't have 50 people going to the impound yard and picking out pigeons. So it had to be the officials of the Combine, and from what I can gather, they had to prove who they were as well to be able to get the birds out. It's not like, if your car got impounded because of the insurance, problem with the insurance, and you had a dog in the car, the police would take your dog back to the dog pound, and which every region has got one, and it would be impounded at the police station. But you can't do that with pigeons. See that youngster just take that bloody twig in there. It's about 2 foot long. So yeah, they had to release them. It comes under DEFRA regulations and all sorts. It's a big minefield, but anyway, they've done the right thing. They've got the pigeons back. They're all, well, ours anyway, I can't speak for anybody else. Ours are all home, safe and sound, no ill effects. But we haven't got a race.
I got a couple of questions.
1 second, let me finish off with these, hold that thought. But what's going to happen to Dad's tenor, Peter?
I'm having it back straight away.
I've impounded it under technicality that the race was not my fault, and I know my pigeon was going to win. So I've impounded it, Peter, and he's got to have double or quits next week. David Mitchard. Hello, John. It is what it is. These things happen. Hope it's all sorted for everyone next week. Just need a bit of common sense from everyone involved. Regards, Dave. Yeah, definitely, Dave's got to have a bit of common sense with it. It has happened. I'm sure it's just an honest mistake. But I was told last night that this has happened for the previous 10 years because the insurance has just been renewed. Well, I was in office for a while, and I know it was done correctly then because I didn't use the same company as what they're using now. But how long ago that was, I can't remember. Was it 10 years ago? It might have been more than 10 years ago. I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. It's happened. Now they've got to get insurance. But at the end of the day, we're the ones that's going to pay for it because I'm sure there'll be fines. Obviously the lorry's broken down as well, so that'll need fixing. There'll be impound charges, there'll be recovery cost charges. This is going to cost a pretty penny. and it's going to come out of the members' pockets. You can't help the breaking down side of it, but the insurance side of it should have been easily to sort out. So there is a little bit of fault there somewhere, but look, we're all human, we all make mistakes. So will the race next week be out of Cornwall, mate? We've always been out of Cornwall, Sean. Oakhampton is in the next county of Devon. So, and I fly 83 miles from there. You are one cheeky little bugger. But yeah, hopefully next week we'll be on with Honiton again and move on. Let them move the race in a week later. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they just cancel this race and just move on. One Honiton, then Oakhampton, Honiton, Wincanton, Salisbury. Simply because I want to go away at the end of the season. But then that's selfish. That's just me. If they put it on, they put it on. He put the tenner on the transporter. Yeah, they'll use it for their insurance. Gerard. They have 30k in the bank, so it shouldn't cost the fancier. Well, yes, it will cost the fancier, Sean, because it's our 30k. They haven't got 30k in the bank now, I'm sure, because they've made quite a bit of losses this year with the birdage being down so low. But yeah, when I say it's going to cost us, it will cost us because it's our money. That's what I meant by that. We're not going to be having to put in more money, but it will cost us because they'll have to pay it out of the combine fees. Nice to see the Latebred chilling. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a lovely little team of Latebred she's got there. I can't wait for them to start getting up in the air so we can start training them. So I will train them as early as I can. Once they start flying, I will start training them from, well, it's just up there actually. If you see the house, where's my finger to? There it is. If you see that house there, and then right up there is a road. So that's where I'll start letting them go to. So as soon as they come out of the basket, they'll know their own. They can stay there for a week. I'm not worried. I just want to build their confidence. We put the basket on the front, so they're used to the basket. They have a drinker on the basket, so they're already used to drinking out of the basket. But yeah, I love youngsters like this. I can sit down and watch them all day long. Mike Nixon, any home, John? Yeah, they're all home, mate. Simply because the race got cancelled, transporter broke down, and it got impounded. I've just gone through the story. I won't explain it all again, but it got impounded because there's a mistake on the insurance document. Combine have got to sort it out. Anyway, Dad, what questions did you have?
Well, an official has said that the transporter's not been insured for 10 years.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And in that time, that transporter has travelled from Penzance to, what, Maidstone? Was that?
Well, no, in the last 10 years, we've been up as far as Ramsgate.
Right. Well, that there in 10 years, you're talking about 250 times that they've gone up a road.
Yeah.
Am I being told that the police number plate recognition cameras
ANPR.
hasn't seen it?
I'm sure they have.
I don't believe it.
Well, yeah, that's what makes me think it hasn't been 10 years because
If it's been picked up
with all these ANPN, you know, I was convoyer for a few years. Not for a few years, for a season and a half when they couldn't find a convoyer, or our old convoyer got sacked. And yeah, I definitely went past coppers. You know, a lot of these cars are now equipped with ANPR cameras and it would ping up. I'm sure if it didn't, they would have been picked up within the last 10 years anyway.
it must have been insured.
Yeah.
There's no
Well-
way to get away with 10 years of no insurance.
Look, when I was in
Travelling that
office, we
mileage.
didn't use the same company. Now they're using a different company. So,
Yeah.
but I can't remember when I was in office. That's got to be 10 years
Whatever
ago.
company that is being used, I can't see that that the police haven't picked that number plate up 250 times.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's been picked up. So I'm sure it must have had insurance on it at some stage. This isn't something that went on for 10 years. It can't have done. But
Was it just not paid
But
this year?
I'm sure that it isn't that it hasn't been paid. They've got an insurance document. There's a letter wrong on the insurance document. So someone's dropped the ball and given them the wrong insurance, the registration plate, or the insurance company have typed it in wrong.
When you phone up each year for insurance,
If you're with the
you
same,
tell them or they ask the number plate.
no, they'll just say, if you're reinsuring it with them, they'll just say, has anything changed? But anyway, that's for the combine to sort out. That's not my problem. That's their problem. It's just going to cost all the fanciers the money, whatever happens. But anyway, are you guys use borax in your bath? No, I don't use borax in the bath, but borax is a really old remedy, and yes, I'm sure it works. It's borax soap. Big, well said, long pockets. Good point he's
An
made.
educated man.
Yeah, it's something that I don't want to get into live on air, but there is questions to be asked and answers to be given. It's got to be transparent, and like I said, everybody is human and we all make mistakes. Well, I presume they're human anyway. Some might not be. But yeah, it's questions to be asked and questions to be answered. And really, the Cornish Combine should call a meeting to ratify any questions or concerns their members have. So if any of my fellow Combine flyers are listening, that's one thing that should be done, just for transparency. Right, I think I've answered all the questions. I only went live just to tell everybody what was on, because I get quite a few messages asking, what time the bird's up and stuff like that. Well, now we'll get these late breds in a minute, and then later on this afternoon I will let the race birds out for a fly, cocks and hens together, and basically treat this as a Sunday. So I'll be a day earlier with everything this week. Treat this as a Sunday. I'll put the bath down for them. Maybe we'll let them out around 2 o'clock, so it's still nice and warm. Beautiful weather down here in Cornwall. And then they can lounge around on the ground like these young birds are doing, stretching their wings out, just having a good time. They'll have a bath. A couple of things I use in the bath water. I have got that stop pad, and I have used that before, and it does work. Makes them dance a little bit, but it does work. I've used vinegar in the water, which does help, but it dries the feather out a little bit. I've used ivermectin in the water, which does work, but it leaves them a little bit oily. So I do tend to either give them a plain bath, just plain water, or quite often for the race birds, I will put Epsom salts in the water and dissolve that. Helps them relax and helps their muscles relax. But anyway, it's going to be a short live today. Might be unanswered email, something as silly as that. Well, they've got to answer any emails. at some stage, because an email to an organisation is an official correspondent and they must deal with it. Surely they check the documents when they receive them. It looks to me as if someone is not doing their job. God knows how long this has been going on. Definitely, Brian. Yeah, you mean, it's like the small print. We don't always read the small print and it can bugger you up. But yeah, something as silly as a number plate, yeah, it definitely should be checked and ratified straight away, because
Another question, John.
if we had an accident in that vehicle, which is an accident, you know, it's not on purpose, it's one of those things that happens, the insurance company would not pay out. And then not only have we lost our transporter, God forbid anybody could be hurt, paralyzed, you know, life-changing problems with an innocent person or even our convoyer. You know, that's what insurance is for, to help rehabilitate and make their lives easier if there has been life-changing problems. But luckily, it was only that the van broke down. No one was hurt. The only thing that's going to hurt is our pockets a little bit. And you know, it's not life-changing, is it? It's you know, we can get past this. What was your other question, Dad?
Well, with my dementia, I forgot, but I feel very sorry for the convoy.
Well, yeah, I feel very sorry for the convoy, but at the end of the day, if you remember back years ago, we got stopped on the M5. I got stopped on the M5 in your van. And so I was the driver in charge of the vehicle
And trailer.
We was grossing, I don't know, 6 ton or something like that in a 5.5 ton gross vehicle weight. So I had my documents. Back then, the speed section came out and they'd visit you. They come out on the Monday morning and Dad noticed that the weights were different. So they actually chucked it out. But I would have got...
I had a summons come through.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had a summons come through.
I phoned them up and said I want to plead guilty, but which weight do I plead guilty to? And it was dropped.
Yeah, because we had 2 different weights. I had one on the curbside, taken in by the ministry, and I had my weights. And when they came down and gave Dad his weights, they were different. So, but yeah, you mean, I was an innocent party there, but I would have got fined. You know, Dad would have had to pay it because I didn't have no money. He's the one that's got all the money in his long pockets. But yeah, you mean the convoyer? I do feel sorry for the convoyer. He can't be left out of pocket for it. Peter Burt, message retracted. Anyway, we're going to call it a day on this live now. I've been waffling on for 35 minutes. Peter Burt, was it taxed then? Yes, I've done a check myself this morning. It is taxed and it is MOT'd. To me, it just looks like an oversight, a mistake. But someone will be taken to task for it, I suppose. Anyway, hopefully we will have a race next week. I mean, they've got a big problem on their hands now. They've got to prove to the police that they've got insurance to be able to move that vehicle. They'll have impound charges. They'll have tow-in charges. And then it'll have to be towed to a garage to be fixed. So hopefully we will have a race next week. We have got a trailer. They could hire a vehicle to pull that trailer. And we could still go racing next week. But we'll just have to wait and see to see what they're going to do. So hopefully next week we will be on again from Honiton. Anyway, that's everything from us. It is what it is. Mistakes have been made. We just got to overcome them. Sorry we haven't had a race today, but hopefully we'll be on again next week. So thanks everybody for watching. Young birds are still chilling out there. Loving life at the minute. Not a care in the world, have they? See that one over there? Laying there with his wings stretched out. Peregrine did go over half an hour ago. It would have been a bloody lovely day for it as well. Just a nice little bit of west wind today, so it would have been straight on their nose. Slow them up a bit. Give them a good tester from 120 mile. And really, it would have really tightened them up today. But never mind. Anybody, thanks everybody for watching. We will catch you next week. There'll probably be a little bit of an update tomorrow. If not, we'll do a walk around the stock loft or walk around the young bird loft or something. Or walk around what I'm going to do next year, racing hens out of that section there. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Catch you all soon. If you're racing today, I hope you have good returns and hope you all have a good race. Catch you soon.